Good morning. Buenos dias. Buongiorno. Okay. It is Tuesday. It's your action-packed, doubled 2 for Tuesday. All right, you guys, we have this. It's subsiding. The Venus is ingressed into the sign of Pisces, but we were having a Saturn-Venus conjunction for the last couple of days, and that energy's been pretty contentious. It's kind of a lot of pressure on structure and order and how you do things related to Venus energy. So Saturn is all about making things be a certain way and structure and order, and Venus is all about like what you love, what your heart stands for, all that stuff. And we're about to embark on some craziness. We have that new moon in Aries starting on Thursday into Friday, if you're not already feeling that. Then we actually have a eclipse, which is going to ignite some really potent energy. We also have Mars. We have a Mars-Saturn conjunction, which is going to be pretty combustible. There's kind of like that push-pull experience in that. And then we have the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction coming up. So basically, if you this is kind of metaphorically what you could be feeling right now. That Jupiter-Neptune conjunction is all about whatever Jupiter touches, it expands. And Neptune can be really dreamy. So your dreams can be expanding, like literally you could be having bigger dreams, or you could be expanding how you see yourself in the ether, in the world as a 3D experience. But also it's going to feel, Neptune is also kind of this, you're still not clear. There's just a little, it's like, you can look at this energy like and that Pisces is unboundaried water. So it's kind of like blurred lines. Like you don't really know yet. So that energy is going to be pretty like, present and loud and rapid moving for a minute. So if you can just keep re-anchoring into your heart and be with the love that you are expanding into, that will make this experience more enjoyable. But if you go through this transition in a way where you're struggling with it, I mean, it's not always going to be a complete flow. You wouldn't be learning anything if there wasn't, but it's really important to really be clear about what you're perceiving with what's emerging. So just being mindful of that is going to really be helpful here. So let's see what the sacred geometry has to say for this lovely Tuesday morning. Alchemy, baby. How's everybody feeling today? Delightful. Yes, compassionate. Tantric journey. This came out last week. What is Source trying to say? So really, I think it's going to be important that you just be in the frequency of delight, which is like really just enjoying, just having these experiences of intense joy, of happiness, and really invoking that in others. That's what the card of delight really is about. You being in a space of joy and happiness and bringing that experience out in others so that it will translate into the energy in your realm, but also in the bigger experience. And be compassionate without judgment. Allow for all things to kind of come together between spirit and matter, and allow for like unconditional love to flow through you from the source energy, from your heart and into the world. It's like really just being in a place of non-judgment, allowing for things to be what they are, and also surrendering to the fact that there is now this tantric journey on the horizon. So the frequency of the tantric journey like helps you unlock hidden wisdom, knowledge that is like intrinsically held within the state of your wholeness through like really sensual experiences with yourself and with others. It's like really being able to allow for like you to have a very 5D visceral sensory experience getting beyond that 3D and just being in the energy of the being in the energy, not in the actual literal tangible matter to matter. So this is like beyond matter. This is like really synergy, energy, wave, sensory experience. That is pretty cool. So let's see what the tarot has to say for today. I've just been listening to a lot of things about how this experience of what's happening right now is like kind of like this, you're like being broken open, you know? And for me, that's a very scary thing. Like, I don't know, like if I'm not controlling how things are gonna go, like, I don't know. I'm a little skeptical. Like, there's definitely this 3D controlling element to how I want things to look and be in my life. And this is kind of like this experience of being able to just be in a space of joy and happiness and just surrender and be in a space of compassion and allow for your heart to guide you towards what is, you know, an experience where you're mediating between frequencies and surrendering to this journey that's going to be very visceral and like probably really powerful, but not necessarily look like the way that you, like the lines are going to be like, is this, like you're going to start experiencing things energetically that are going to be so whole and so deep, that like deep knowledge and wisdom that you hold deep within the state of your wholeness, that's going to ignite this like experience of complete like ecstasy. But it's not necessarily going to look the way that like you may have tangibly. It's going to unfold in a way that might not look the way that you can control. So I'm not a proponent for using drugs, but when I used to do MDMA, that's kind of that experience. But when you're in a sober head, when you're in Ten of Cups, Jupiter, okay, this is like expanding this intense, like full Ten of Cups experience, okay? That's beautiful energy right there, baby. All right, you guys, so, let's see what the tarot has to say for today. Emperor, that's Aries energy right there. 6 of Wands, successfully seeing clearly about things that are complete. Okay, let me pull this whole reading out because already this is a little bonkers. So okay, when this is like really trusting, this is about choosing trust. I've been saying that the last, like that's really loud for me. So there is this really profound experience of you seeing really clearly now about what is your truth and successfully being able to step into that so that you can see what is done with. So Emperor, Ace of Swords, 6 of Wands, it's like really successfully seeing clearly about your power. And the Ten of Swords right there, baby, this is like, there's nowhere to go but up. The Ten of Swords is the ultimate completion. It is intense. When you are in a Ten of Swords moment, you are at the end of a cycle. You are at the end of the most intense experience. And it's coupled with the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Cups, there's this like purity of intense, like bottom, you're like hit rock bottom intensity coupled with the most abundant love. It's like those two things, when you can really synergistically bring those energies together, you get the Ace of Wands. So from this very potent, powerful depletion of rock bottom, this Ten of Cups can emerge because there's nowhere to go but up. And for me, when I have been in the darkest of dark moments, when I have been on the, when I have been in those moments, I think as a result of these super intense lessons in these depths of learning, you see so clearly the love. You see so clearly what you want for your, like how you want your cup is full, how you want to experience love, what you want to celebrate, what you want to create. There is a fractal pattern on this card, and it's like this blooming. It's like this experience, and it's very similar to the Delight card. So these two things, these two energies complement each other. It's like when you can really come from the bottom and move to the top with such flow and compassion because you've been able to see your power clearly, it will ignite. Ace of Wands. You know, your inner knowing knows what needs to be completed and let go of and moved on from. And you need to, like, as a result of this, see things from a new perspective about your mindsets related to lack and confusion and fear. So when you're in a lack mindset, it evokes a lot of confusion. And so when you're in that space of confusion and delusionment, or, you know, in that Piscean, Jupiter, Neptune, no boundary, watered, blurred lines experience, the Seven of Cups can be, I see this as an opportunity card, but in other decks, people see it as a confusion card. I see this is like, these are just, there's a lot of blurred lines in this card. You don't really know. You're gonna feel like that for a minute. You're gonna feel sort of like floating in water where there's no boundary, and you don't really know where you're going. You're going into uncharted territory. You're going into a tantric journey. You're going to start experiencing things in a very different way. And there is confusion about decisions and juggling. How do I do this? How do I see clearly about this? What do I need to learn? What is it that I need to do to work to face my fears, my whatever the entrapments have been in your mind that have kept you stagnant or confined to specific ways of being that have left you like broken cold. Okay, so you see now the way forward as a result of the process of going through this, but that's going to take some time. There is a whole cycle that needs to work itself out here in this journey, in this tantric journey. And it's going to feel a little uncertain for a minute. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. But you're walking towards, in this, I think what's going to happen is over the course of the eclipse season, which is upon us, starting now, we're in it, we're already in it. You're going to walk towards this freedom and confidence and ease and step into your power and just be vibrant and loving in your own person. And it's going to feel really natural. Nine of Pentacles, you guys. You know I love that card. She is just free to be. She is just, here she is, free to be. So, I think there is some confusion about the way forward and how to hold the space for that experience for yourself. And you might not want to make decisions. You might be stifled in decision making about how to bring things together. But I think that the most important thing to know is that Jupiter energy is going to expand whatever's in your chart, which for me, this is so potent. This is so potent. the Jupiter with the Cancer. So my Jupiter is in Cancer. For me, this is going to expand anything in my chart where there's Cancer. And I got a ton of Cancer in my chart. My moon is in Cancer. My Jupiter is in Cancer. My Mars is in Cancer. So that energy, wherever that falls in your chart, is going to expand whatever house it falls in. So for me, it's like 4th house, 5th house, 9th house. I mean, it just depends on where it falls in your chart. But I think what's happening is that there is this very like palpable energy where things are going to expand and you're not going to know. Like, where's the boundary? Where does this begin and I end? And you're just going to feel like you're floating for a minute. But the good news is you're going to successfully rise above whatever misguided energy. You're going to get what you want. The flow is going to happen. You're going to be able to, because you're love, because you're compassion, because you evoke joy and happiness, because you are joy and happiness, it reflects. Like I said, if you want to be a certain way, you have to become that energy. If you want people in your life to experience, you want to have relationships in your life reflect your experience, you have to be the energy of that experience. So if you want joy and happiness, you have to be joy and happiness. And then that invites others to be joy and happiness. So you can't be joy and happiness if you're misery and, fucking if you're misery and depleted and mixed up and caught up and in low vibration. You have to be love and joy. You have to be compassion. You have to be the energy of what you want your life to be reflective of. And that reflects in the relationships. And so there is this experience of you really getting beyond this misaligned, disillusioned, running away. So the Seven of Swords, this is me, man. I'm gonna run out. So anytime I feel this experience of, in the past, I have, made it so that I have had to be really only accountable to certain things in my life, like that have been related to me. And so I have had this always an exit strategy. So the Seven of Swords is like that exit strategy. It's like I'm going out the back door. I was talking about that last week. When you find yourself in a position where you're just not like convinced or like it's not convinced, when you're uncertain about how to just be in a space of surrender and about how to just be in the tantric journey and trust. When you feel like you can't control the situation, for me, that's the deal. If I can't, in the past, been able to control how things are going to go, my exit strategy is always in the back of my head. And that has kept me from actually having to be responsible to certain things in my life because I've always been able to escape out the back. And I think what's happening here in this energy is that it's about really surrendering to a journey of unknown frequencies, of expanding Jupiter energy in a way that you have to be willing to be in the uncertainty of the outcome. And so, there's this beautiful experience of coming together within yourself as a result of trusting yourself to really step into your own natural power so that you can really evoke love and joy internally because you're just continuing to realign in that high vibration. But as a result, it reflects in every place and space you're in because then it evokes that in others. And so there's this experience of being able to overcome Seven of Swords to the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is like my wish granted card. It's like I get to create whatever, I manifest what I create. So if what I'm doing is perpetually sneaking out, running away, this energy is really saying, no, you don't have to do that because you can get what you want by being the love, by being the light, by being, and whatever is in alignment with that will show up and it won't matter. It won't matter It doesn't have to look a certain way because you're just joy, you're just delight, you're just happiness. So anything that's joy and happiness is going to just be filling you to your 10 of Cups rim. And so that's where you have to get away from it being a sort of conceptualized 3D way of being and just be in a space of blurred lines. And that is where the work is. That is where the work is. Being okay to be in that space. Because for me, that's an intense place to be. That's where the work has to, really learning to be in that space, being in a space of unknown territory. There's a lot of power in that, because if you can be in that, then you can trust. That if you can trust yourself, you can be in that. So again, just choosing to trust yourself to be in a space where you can not know how this is going to go, but you trust yourself enough to know that you realign in that source energy and you continue to be love, be joy, be happiness. And what that does is it creates that in your life. So it will just keep being joy, happiness, love, abundance, all that stuff. Going back to that super abundant manifestation experience. That's what that is. It's like, as long as you keep being the higher vibrational frequency and asking source to guide you, and then really coming from a place of non-judgment, like it doesn't have to look like this. I just have to be this. I don't have to control this. I just have to be this. And then you find yourself in this journey of complete, like, satiated. Like, the feeling that I get when I meditate is like this full body vibration, and it feels so safe and so whole and so like nothing I've ever, like no drug I've ever been on. That is the highest of highs. And that's what this tantric journey is all about. It's like being able to be in that energy will completely evoke the sensory experience that is really complete. It's like whole, complete, yummy, tasty, palate cleansing, all that good stuff. Okay, so let's see what the animals have to say for today. Okay, tend to the small things, take time out, and be here now. All right, so this is like really being present. You don't have to really have to go out here to figure it out. You just have to be in the here and now, and just focus on doing the little things that you can do in these moments that you're in, because you don't have to look at it in terms of the whole picture. Just focus on the here and now and tend to the little things. Do your chores, do your work, do your meditations, do your exercise, love your people, rest, take care of your health, and be present. Okay? Those are your to-dos for this week. All right, you guys, I gotta go. I hope you have a great day. I hope there was a message in this reading. Either way, happy Tuesday. See you when I see you.